Good morning, Laker fans. What is going on? Appreciate you guys tuning in, doing a little Lakers talk daily on this Thursday morning. I know this is going to be the theme of all our shows coming up today, so I appreciate you guys hanging out here on YouTube. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me just first say, please subscribe to the channel here on YouTube if you have not. ESPN LA putting out content on a daily basis. Big time news coming out this morning from ESPN. I want to spend a little bit of time on it. Sources out there, Adrian Wojnarowski, this was now within the last hour and a half or so. The news came out from Woj, and he basically said, "Look, I got some breaking news here that he wanted to, I think, shake not just the NBA world up, but the college world up as well. Lakers preparing massive offer to UConn's Dan Hurley." So for everybody who knows, I might know it a little bit too well here because UConn's played San Diego State 2 years in a row and just completely got rid of them. Dan Hurley has won back-to-back NBA champ or back-to-back NCAA national championships. First time that's happened in about 17 years. I think they have 12 straight double-digit tournament wins. They have completely dominated the sport in college basketball. And here are the Lakers, according to Woj, that the Lakers are prepared to make a long-term contract offer to try to bring him, like I said, back-to-back NCAA champion, to be the next coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Apparently, and this is, I guess, kudos to the Lakers here, keeping this so under wrap and having absolutely no idea that any of this stuff is going on. All we've heard is the name of J.J. Redick. I've heard James Borrego. I've heard Sam Cassell, a couple other assistants around the NBA. Hurley's name has never come up. And, I think this is what is making this so shocking. I'm going to read a little bit more of this article because I think the article is very interesting. VP Basketball Operations General Manager Rob Pelinka and Governor Jeannie Buss are eager to formally discuss with Hurley their vision of marrying his dominant program, built upon his tactical acumen and his elite player development, with the storied Lakers brand. Sources said Hurley, 51, has often described his ambition to one-day coach in the NBA and has expressed to Lakers a desire to explore the full picture of a partnership with one of basketball's winningest programs, winningest franchises, sources said. Okay. So we have the story. The story is obviously pretty simple. The Lakers are trying to do everything they can to lure Dan Hurley, and it sounds like there's mutual interest. So this doesn't sound like a pipe dream or something like that where it's like, all right, the Lakers would love to bring him over, but come on, guys, he's not going anywhere. I will say this. This one's actually very, very easy for me. And I know we've had the conversation before about J.J. Redick, and I've at least consistently said, how am I supposed to know how J.J. Redick is going to do? Like, I genuinely have no idea how he would do because he's never coached in the college level or the NBA level before or been an assistant. If you can land Dan Hurley, which I do agree with this article talking about, this is the biggest name in both sports. As big of a name in both sports. Don't get me wrong. I get it. You got Eric Spoelstra, Greg Popovich. I understand that. There's other big-time coaches in college basketball as well. Been around for a long time. Dan Hurley is 51 years old, has ambitions to coach in the NBA, slicing and dicing his way through college basketball like all these other programs literally didn't even matter. Literally took out every good program that you could think about over the last couple of years. And for me, there is something about the present and the future. And I think the problem with the Lakers, it's been my frustration with the front office, is it never really feels like there's a vision here beyond today. That they have a difficult time looking at tomorrow, a week down the road, a month down the road, and a year down the road. Those have been my frustrations with the front office. Grabbing a guy like Dan Hurley, you're immediately addressing today, and you're also addressing tomorrow. And I think just as important as anything else, you're addressing the future of the Los Angeles Lakers. Because if you find the right coach, and you feel like you have somebody that brings stability to the franchise and the organization, makes it easier to develop players, makes it easier to find guys that I saw a part of the article here too now. Just the way the NBA is structured now, there is no you just go grab 3 stars and everything is fine. Everyone's got to contribute. You need a number of guys to develop as they're in the league. They got to get better over time. And that coach has got to make them better. I think this would be one of the best moves the Lakers have made in a long time. Hypothetically, right? Maybe he comes to the NBA and he flames out or something along those lines. That could happen too, and I understand that. But I would take my chances here much more than somebody who does not have coaching experience in the NBA or somebody that's been an assistant in the NBA for a long time, but you're not 100% sure what you're going to get. He's an established coach. Now, in college, but I also think there's probably a lot of coaches around the NBA or a lot of teams around the NBA that would love to have him representing their team. So I think this would be big news. Couple other things I saw here that I think are great and other things that just don't interest me at all. Woj put in here that the possibility of using the 55th pick in this NBA draft on Bronny James makes Hurley an even more intriguing candidate. If that happens, James gets a chance to play with his son and the benefit for Hurley and his staff becoming responsible for Bronny's pro development. That's a tough one for me to really have passion for or care about. I don't think they're getting Dan Hurley because they want to develop Bronny James, so that piece doesn't do anything for me, but that was a piece that was on there. The other thing that I liked here too, the Lakers have been committed to making NBA All-NBA forward Anthony Davis a significant part of the conversation on the next head coach and want to make sure he's aligned with how a new coach plans to feature him on offense and defense. Paying attention to Anthony Davis. I've talked about this, and I know this has been, I think, part of a conversation for a lot of Laker fans is, hey, can we make sure that we're also accommodating to Anthony Davis? Why does it feel like everything's just accommodated to LeBron, who will be 40 years old by the start of 2025? Let's make sure we're also taking care of Anthony Davis, and obviously he points that out here that you can also accommodate that. So there's a lot going on, and I have a feeling if it's got this far and the Lakers are preparing to make an offer and they've been this, what's the word I'm looking for? They've done a really good job of keeping this behind the scenes, that there's a good chance that Dan Hurley is going to be the next coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And that makes me excited because I do think a coach is so important for this franchise and this team. A coach is so important for today, tomorrow, a week down the road, years down the road. And if you find the right coach, and then it's just a matter of, putting the right pieces together, damn, does that not make, the life of the front office and the organization so much easier when you don't have to recycle a coach every single year. We've talked about this before. The Lakers have had 6 coaches in the last 13 years. That is not a good sign of a franchise, a business, however you want to look at it. Think of 6 CEOs in 13 years with a company. Well, something's wrong. So now it's up to, obviously the Lakers front office to figure that out. And let's see if Dan Hurley could potentially be the next coach of the Lakers. But big time news here. Like I mentioned, a lot that can the ripple effects that can happen from this. Still some more work to be done, but the sides are planning to escalate discussions in the coming days. So who knows? And by the way, I don't think it's a coincidence that this is coming out on the day of the NBA Finals. This will dominate the news of the NBA Finals. Of course, you got Mavs in Boston a little bit later today. The Lakers stealing the headlines as they usually do. Laker fans that are out there, your thoughts? What do you think? Dan Hurley, potentially next coach of the Lakers. Your thoughts on what you think that means. Your thoughts on if you think he's the right guy. Your thoughts on if this is a lot better than some of the other candidates that are out there. I'm fully on board. I think this would be amazing. So let us know your thoughts. Please subscribe to the channel. Travis and Sliwa Show coming up at 10 a.m. We'll have our local shows all day long as well. And, of course, we'll be carrying the NBA Finals as well. Thanks, Laker fans.